Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be taking you through a full week of workouts in my third trimester. So this week I am 33 weeks pregnant, and so I wanted to take you guys through an honest and genuine week of workouts at this point. I did one in my first trimester, I did one in my second trimester. I now wanted to do one in my third and final trimester of my pregnancy and really show you guys what I'm doing now for workouts and kind of just talk about how things have changed, how my body is feeling. Right now, I am 33 weeks pregnant. I honestly feel really good working out. Working out makes me feel normal. It makes me feel like myself. I feel like it has just been such a part of what I have done for my entire life that I really did not know how I was going to stop doing it for 9 months, and so I'm super grateful that I really have not been able to. The biggest shift that I have made in my workout routine this last trimester has been, instead of lifting 4 days a week, I am now lifting 3 days a week. So before I was doing 2 upper body, 2 lower body. Now I am doing 3 days, an upper, a lower, and a full body. And honestly, I have been really enjoying it. I feel like that's what my body needed. I feel like I responded really well to it. I was just feeling very burnt out lifting 4 days a week. I felt like I wasn't able to recover in time. I felt like I was just literally exhausted when I got home every single day, day in and day out. And so I decided to shift my split to 3 days a week, an upper, a lower, and a full body. And then up until when I am 36 weeks pregnant, I will also be teaching a class where I will be working out and coaching people through the workouts on a 4th day. So I'm really being active a definite 4 days every single week right now. I'm trying to go for walks here and there when I can on the other days, but definitely 4 days, 3 lifting days, 1 day that I am teaching is kind of what I'm doing right now. I've also been trying to go for a walk as many days as I am able to. I am trying to take 2 days right now for complete and total rest, where I am not doing anything, I'm not walking, I'm literally just allowing myself to rest and recover. But every other day, whether I am lifting or not, I am trying to do some sort of walk or cardio. Honestly, walking for me feels really good right now. I've really been enjoying it. The weather has been getting nicer, and so I've been able to go outside a little bit more, and if not, then I'm doing an incline walk on the treadmill. So I have really been enjoying that. Honestly, at this point in my pregnancy, getting outside just makes me feel so good, and on top of that, being able to go for like short little walks that are literally like probably anywhere from, I would say, 25 to 45 minutes is kind of what I'm doing right now in terms of my walk. It really just depends on how I feel, but that does feel really good right now. And so let's dive into our workouts for the week. So without further ado, let's get into this full week of workouts.
Let's get into day 1. We are doing a leg day, starting off with barbell sumo squats. So your feet are going to be just about wider than hip width, toes pointed slightly outwards. For this, I am using a barbell. You can hold one weight at your chest or a weight onto each shoulder if that's what you feel more comfortable with. But you're going to squat down, try to hit that 90 degrees. Breathe as you come back up. Make sure that you are bracing at your core. Moving into a deficit curtsy lunge up next. Both feet start off on top of this platform. One leg sweeps back into a curtsy, hitting 90 degrees with both knees. You do not need to come down to the ground. You just need to hit 90 degrees on both of those legs. You can hold the weight here at your chest like I am, or a weight onto each shoulder. Pair that with a B stance RDL. So you're going to line up the heel of one foot with the toe of the other. Feet are going to be just about hip width. The leg that is back, that heel, is going to always stay popped up off of the ground. You're going to keep your shoulders pulled back, chin stays tucked, and you are going to press your hips back like you're shooting your glutes back towards the wall, keeping your core nice and tight and engaged. Our next superset starts off with a cyclist squat. So you're going to pop both heels up onto a plate or a platform riser like I am here. You're going to bring your legs all the way together so they are touching. You want to keep your legs and knees pressed against each other through this entire movement. Hold that weight right at your chest. Squat down, hit 90 degrees, pause for a second, and then come back up. This is going to put such an emphasis onto your quads. It burns so good. Are supersetting that with a banded squat to side shuffle. So you're going to grab a loop band, pop it right up over both of your knees, squat down, shuffle to the left, to the right, and then come back up. Oh my gosh, your legs are going to be on fire by the end of this exercise. It doesn't look like it would be intense, but after our leg day, look at my face. I'm struggling. I'm going through it. You are going to be in pain. This was the best/worst way to finish off today's leg day. Day 2 is our upper body day. It was very chest and back focused. We started off with a machine incline chest press. So you're going to pop yourself onto a machine. Whatever you choose, whether it's dumbbells or a machine, you want to make sure it's lined up right with where your nipples are. Listen, a weird cue, but I know you'll never forget about it. Press out, come in, hit that 90 degrees. Make sure you are breathing through it. As you are pressing out, you are breathing out. Single arm cable mid row is up next. So you are going to be seated. You are going to start palm facing down. As you row in towards yourself, you are going to rotate your wrist so your palm ends up facing inwards to your body. You are going to squeeze your shoulder blade at the back of the movement. Really make sure we are engaging at that back. Keep that elbow nice and close and tight into you. A nice, slow, and controlled movement here. My favorite back exercise, a lat pull down, is up next. I am doing this seated onto the ground just to support my core a bit more, but you can use a machine or a regular lat pull down attachment that you might have on your cables. You're going to bring your arms out nice and wide. Think about driving your pinkies down towards the ground, driving those elbows down. Think about pulling with your pinkies to really engage those lats, squeezing your back at the back of the movement, keeping everything nice and tight and engaged, not letting your shoulders flare forward. Cable chest flies are up next. So you're going to use the handle attachments. You're going to take a staggered stance forward. It does not matter which foot leads. Slight bend in both of those elbows. You're going to circle your arms inward, squeezing your chest at the top of this movement, coming back. You do not need to overextend and let your shoulders flare backwards, keeping everything nice and tight and engaged. We're setting that with cable face pulls. So you're going to line up the cable using the rope attachment right in line with your face. Your hands are going to be in an overhand grip, and you're going to squeeze back, pulling towards your face, driving your elbows outward. Really squeeze those shoulder blades in the back of the movement. Coming forward, again, not letting those shoulders round, keeping everything nice and tight, breathing through it as you are pulling backwards. Finishing off today's workout with some core work, I picked 3 pregnant safe core exercises for your 3rd trimester and just did 3 sets of these 3 exercises. Listen, admittedly, I would like to tell you that I have done core work a lot more than I have throughout the course of my pregnancy, but I'm trying to incorporate it when I can. Deep core work like this is so good for you through the course of your pregnancy to keep your core safe and protected, to protect your low back through the course of your pregnancy. And it also can help, so I've heard, in an easier labor process. So I'll report back on that, but that is the core work I have been doing. For our 3rd and final lift of the week, we have a cardio strength full body day. So we are starting off with a sumo squat to bicep curl. So feet wider than hip width, toes pointed slightly outwards. We're going to squat down. As you are coming up, you are curling the weights up. Lots of combination movements today, which are some of my favorite. Great way to get that heart rate up and get a full body workout in. Are pairing that with weighted reverse lunges. You're going to hold a weight in each hand. You're going to alternate reverse lunge back, hitting that 90 degrees on those lunges here. Make sure we are breathing through it, hitting 90-90, slight lean of your chest forward. Our next superset starts off with an RDL to an upright row. Exact same movement as we did on our lower body day. We are just doing both legs for it instead of B stance. Shoulders stay pulled back, core stays tight. Press those hips back, slight bend in those knees for our RDLs. As you are coming up, you are driving your elbows outward into that upright row. Really feel that burn on those shoulders. Sticking with the shoulder work, we are doing a standing Arnold press up next. So I'm in a split stance, 1 foot forward, but you can do whatever feels best for you. You start palm facing inward, and as you press up, you are twisting your arm, so you end up palm facing outward. Keep that core tight. Breathe as you press that palm upward. Our final tricep of the day, we are starting off with 20 Bosu ball up and overs. So you are kind of stepping up and swapping feet at the top of the Bosu ball. Take this as fast or slow as you feel comfortable with. If you want to take it as more of a step, you can. If you want to add in a little hop like I am, really take this as fast or slow as you feel comfortable. Tricep overhead extensions are up next. So you're going to take a staggered stance with your feet, whatever foot feels more comfortable to lead. You're going to grab a dumbbell with both of your hands. You're going to bend and extend at your arm, really focusing on bending just at those elbows, keeping those elbows close into you, really isolating the tricep, the back of those arms to be what's doing the work. Next up, we are moving into a dumbbell squat thruster. So you're going to pop a weight onto each shoulder. You're going to squat down, hit at least that 90 degrees. As you come up, you are thrusting and pressing that weight up overhead, really generating power through your hips and your breath, breathing as you're pressing that weight up, keeping that core tight. This workout was such an amazing way to hit a little bit of everything and keep my heart rate up, but it felt so good.
This week of workouts was literally one of my favorite weeks that I have had in a very long time. I just feel like I found a really good routine, a really good split for this part in my pregnancy. I feel like I have just adjusted what my body has needed through various stages. In pretty much my whole first and the first half of my second trimester, I could basically keep doing the same lifts that I was doing before I got pregnant. The second half of my second trimester into the very beginning of my third trimester, things definitely started to shift. I was doing a lot less exercises, I was doing a lot less weight, I was taking significantly more rest time. Now moving into the rest of my third trimester, a couple things have changed fairly drastically. One, I cut down a whole day of exercise, which is really weird for me, and honestly sometimes it still feels odd. I have been working out like 5 or 6 days for as long as I can remember right now. So dropping it down to 3 to 4 days every single week of actually lifting in the gym, and then of course doing other things, going for walks, feels weird. It feels different. Sometimes I'm not used to that, but I know right now that's what my body needs. I take so much more rest time now than I ever have in my life because that's what my body needs. Before I would of course be taking a rest time, but now I have to be really conscious, really aware of my rest time, of what my heart rate is at through my entire workout. Now even during an upper body workout where my heart rate shouldn't necessarily spike up as much as it does, it really does still spike up just as much as it would in a lower body day. Lower body is of course still going to be where it is the highest, where I feel like sometimes I'm getting a cardio workout in half of the time, but even in my upper body days, I'm seeing my heart rate spike. So I just have to be aware of that and to slow down and to rest where needed during the course of those workouts. Like I said to you guys in the beginning of the video, have absolutely loved going for walks my third trimester. It feels so good. I love getting outside. I love being able to get low intensity movement in at this point. But to be entirely honest with you guys, some days it is really, really difficult mentally for me because I really mentally want to go for a walk. I feel really good mentally to go for a walk. I want to get outside. I want to soak up some sun, but physically my body doesn't necessarily want me to do that because by the end of work and being on my feet all day at work, sometimes all I want to do is just put my feet up, and that's a really odd feeling for me because I love going for a walk. So it is really weird for me to not feel like I can go for those walks as much anymore as I could in my first and second trimester. So I'm still doing it when I feel up for it, when I'm able to, and I'm just shortening the length of time that I'm doing it for. But it's definitely been a mental shift for me because I was so used to being able to go for a 4 or 5 mile walk, and now I go for like 1.5 miles and my feet are like screaming at me by the end of it. And so I'm really just trying to listen to my body at this point in my pregnancy. I feel like that's all that I can really do, but I have loved my split. I have loved doing a lower body focus day and an upper body focus day, and then I absolutely adore a full body / cardio strength type of day day. It has always been one of my favorite ways to mix up my routine, to hit a little bit of everything, to keep your heart rate up, and it's just fun. It's a lot of like combination movements, like a sumo squat to a curl and things like that. It just feels good and it's different and it's not as necessarily physically demanding as a heavy lift is, but it still feels really good and I feel like strong and empowered afterwards. And at this point, that's really what I'm going for. So moving forward through the rest of my pregnancy, I'm going to try to keep these 3 days up for a few more weeks. I do think when I am 37, 38 weeks, I'm gonna drop it down to 2 lifting days every single week. I'm not sure whether that'll be an upper and a lower body day. I'm not sure whether that'll be 2 full body days. I really haven't decided yet. I'm kind of gonna just decide when I get to that point, but I definitely am just going to continue listening to my body and then going for walks, doing prenatal yoga, things like that as I finish out the rest of my pregnancy, because I really just want to do what feels best for my body at this point. My movement at this point is really just to make me feel normal, to keep me and my body and my baby safe, to have a healthy and strong labor and baby, and that's really all I want at this point. And so I want to make sure that I'm honoring my body and how it feels, and I don't want to put pressure onto myself to have all these expectations, and that has been a huge shift for myself. I went from lifting really heavy 5 to 6 days every single week to really just working out and doing whatever sort of movement feels good when I feel up for it, and that has been a huge mental obstacle to overcome through the course of my pregnancy, because some days mentally I can do it and physically I just simply need the time to rest. And so I've just been trying to listen to my body and honor how that feels, and I've been really proud of myself and my body for what it has been able to do. But I want to be honest, it isn't all sunshine and rainbows all the time. I love working out. I love how it makes me feel, but moving into like the second half of my 3rd trimester, it has certainly gotten more and more difficult on certain days. My feet have been bothering me a lot more. I'm definitely not recovering as fast anymore. I know I'm not sleeping nearly as well as I was in the beginning, and that all plays a big factor. So I'm really just trying to listen to my body and do what is best for me for the remainder of my pregnancy. But I feel just really grateful and appreciative that I'm able to do this much at this point in my pregnancy. With that being said, I am going to wrap up the video here. I hope you guys like this video. I have loved taking you guys through these weeks of workouts through the course of my pregnancy. I hope it can be helpful, because I know it can be so confusing of what exercises are safe and healthy for you to do through the course of your pregnancy. Of course, I have to put this disclaimer in here that this is my body. This is what works for me and my body. Of course, first and foremost, listen to your doctors and listen to what they're telling you. They're the people that know best for you, but this is what has worked for me. This is what I have loved doing. I hope that that can provide some insight for you guys as well. I also would never want somebody to compare their journey during their pregnancy to mine. I am so grateful that I'm able to move my body as much as I am at this point in my pregnancy, but I am very aware that not everyone is able to do that, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Any movement is good movement as long as it is safe for you and your baby. And so please keep that in mind. Don't compare yourself to anybody that you see on the internet. Just do what is best for you, your body, and your baby, and whatever is going to make you the happiest, but also the safest through the course of your whole pregnancy. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up the video here. If you guys like this video, please make sure you go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. You already know it supports my channel. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss another video that I post. If you haven't, make sure you follow me on my Instagram and TikTok so you can see other fitness, health, and lifestyle content that I post on there. And I will catch you guys here next time.